Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Jason Gorenstein, and this is our Hatha Yoga class, level 1-2. We do this class every single weekday. Nope, we don't. We do this every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 o'clock. We have a vinyasa class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So without further ado, let us begin. We're going to start in Virabhadrasana pose. So without further ado, you guys can join me. I'm just going to change the setting a little bit. Alright, that should be better. Good. Okay, perfect. So let's begin in Virabhadrasana pose. And to take Virabhadrasana pose, what you're going to do is you're going to take a block and you'll place it on the either lowest or middle setting, and you'll bring your feet together to hug the outer edges of the block. And then you'll take your hands and you'll bring your hands underneath the flesh of the calf, and you'll release the calf flesh out to the sides. And then from here, you'll begin to take your hands to the thighs. You'll wrap the outer thighs in. Take the hands to the buttocks. Move the buttocks flesh away from the low back. And just take your hands onto the tops of the thighs, palms face up. Now begin to lift the breastbone up, spread across the collarbones, and release these frontal ribs down towards the frontal hip bones. So these are the frontal hip bones, these are the ribs. They release on down just so that you maintain length in the back body. And from here, interlace the fingers, press your palms forward in front of you, take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And as you take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, again, engage the core muscles here, lengthen through the back of the spine. So there is this stability happening in the body as you continue to lengthen here and breathe. And as you exhale, release the hands down to the center chest. Interlace the fingers one finger over, press your palms forward in front of you, take the arms all the way up towards the ceiling here. So lengthen through the tops of the fingers, wrap the outer armpits in, and breathe here. Continue to lengthen through the back ribs, continue to lean the head on back, and breathe. And as you exhale, you'll release the hands down to your sides. Good. Take your left hand, bring it to your left side. Take your right arm, extend it over the body, and turn the chest up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through that arm, lengthen through the chest, look up towards those right fingers. And as you breathe here, wrap the left outer armpit in. Look up, and then as you exhale, float over to the other side. Left arm extends over the head. Wrap the right outer armpit in and breathe here as you extend over the left side of the body. Continue to lengthen here. Continue to breathe. And then coming back to center, releasing the hands back to the sides. One more time, right arm extends over the body. As you place the left palm down, spread across the fingers. Wrap the left outer shoulder in and let the shoulder blade draw down the spine. Continue to press the right buttocks down. Continue to lengthen through the right fingers. As you exhale, glide the right arm over the body and change. So start by spreading across the right fingers. Wrap the right outer tricep in. Firm the right outer arm in so the right shoulder begins to move down the spine. And then as you press through the left buttocks, begin to lengthen the left shoulder, left chest, left arm over the right side of the body. Inhale, coming back to center here. And release the hands to the sides. Good. So now take your hands. Place your hands at either side of the body, sent right in front of the chest, spread across the fingers. As you press through the thumb and the forefinger, float the knees up, press the thighs back, downward facing dog pose. In downward facing dog pose here, spread the fingers wide apart. Let the inner forearms lift up, let the outer triceps drop in, and breathe here. Add a bend to those knees, so the knees are bent heavily here. And continue to press the thighs back towards the hamstrings. Release the head down, close the eyes. Good. Eventually, you're going to begin to straighten those legs any amount. And then as you exhale, again, bending through those knees. So this is a great way to lengthen through the spine as we bend into these knees. Good. And from here, you'll look forward towards the hands. You'll walk the fingers forward towards the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Press through the four corners of the foot. Inhale. Float the arms up towards the ceiling. Palms face one another. As you exhale, release the hands down to the sides. So we're going to begin to move through a C-series variation here. So inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen through the chest here. So plant the fingers down on the mat, step the left leg back, release the left knee down, and float both arms up towards the ceiling. Urdhva. As you press down through the back of the left foot, press down through the left calf, float the left side of the chest up. Keep pressing down through the left leg as you inhale, float both arms up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale here, release both hands down to the mat. Good. Step your right leg back to meet the left leg, plank pose. Plank pose, lower the knees down. Lower the chest all the way down. Inhale, peeling up through the chest, the heart, the sternum. And as you exhale, press on back. Downward facing dog pose. In downward facing dog pose, we'll take the right foot, step it on forward. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As you breathe here, wrap the outer triceps in. Hug the belly in and lengthen through the fingers. And as you exhale here, release the hands down to the sides of the mat. Step your left leg forward to meet the right at the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Dhanurasana. As you exhale, release the hands back down into the sides. Inhale, floating the arms towards the ceiling. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Good. As you exhale, stepping the right leg back, release the right knee down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Glide the left leg back. Shift forward into plank pose. Plank pose, press through the heels, thighs up, chest or sternum forward. Release the knees down. Release the chest all the way down. Walk the hands back. See that the outer elbows are hugging into the midline of the body. Press down to the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift up the inner legs here as you lengthen the buttocks, flush towards the heels. As you exhale, press down through the fingers, float the thighs back, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog pose, we step the right foot forward in between the hands. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As we exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Step the left leg forward to meet the right. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Uttanasana pose. As you exhale, release the palms to the sides. So now, we're going to begin to move through Surya A. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, walk the feet back. Find your way into plank pose. So plank pose again, you'll lower the knees down. You'll lower the chest all the way down. Walk the hands back. Hug the outer elbows in. Firm the triceps in. Begin to feel the core drawing in towards the ceiling as you draw the trapezius muscles away from the ears. Tuck the toes underneath. Press the thigh bones back, downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose, we spread the fingers wide apart. We lift through the inner forearms here as we wrap the outer triceps in. Release the head on down to the mat. And breathe here as you take the thigh bones back to the back of the room. Keep lengthening through the heels. Walk the feet forward to the front of the room. Inhale, lengthen here. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, Anjali-asana pose, and as you exhale, release the hands down to the sides. Good. Inhale, floating the arms up, Anjali-asana. I don't know why I keep saying Anjali-asana. Exhale, Urdhva Uttanasana, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthening here. Good. As you exhale, walk the feet back, find your way into plank pose. Plank pose, lower the knees down. Sternum forward, lower the chest all the way down. Inhale, peel up the chest, heart, and sternum. So once again, walk the fingers back. See that the fingers are spread wide apart. See that the fingers are glued to the mat, as if you could draw the arms back all the way to the backs of the heels. Keep breathing here as you hug in the chest, shoulders, and sternum. As you exhale, continue to press through the fingers. Take the thighs back to the back of the mat, downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose, the outer thighs revolve towards the inner thighs. Continue to feel the inner shins lengthening back towards the back of the room. Feel the inner heels lengthening towards the back of the room. Toes are spread wide apart. Continue to shift the weight from the hands all the way towards the feet. Again, we look forward, walk the feet forward towards the hands. As we inhale here, we lengthen. As we exhale, we fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As we come into So come into Urdhva. As we exhale, we draw the hands into center. Inhale, float the arms up above the head. Exhale, hinging and folding here. Inhale, lengthening. As you exhale, walking the feet back, finding your way into plank pose. Spreading across the fingers, lowering the knees down to the mat, lowering the chest all the way down to the mat. Inhale, peeling up the chest, heart, and sternum here. And as you exhale, floating the legs back, downward facing dog pose. So spread across the fingers. Continue to lift the inner forearms up. Continue to wrap the outer triceps in. Good. And once again here, you look in between the hands and walk the feet forward towards the hands. As you inhale here, lengthen through the chest. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Palms face one another. As you exhale, hands come to center chest. One more time. Inhale, floating up. Exhale, hinging and folding. Inhale, lengthening here. Good. Walk the feet back. Find your way into plank. Plank pose. Lower the knees down. Lower the chest all the way down. Inhale, peeling up the chest and the heart. So again, walk the hands back. See that the hands are right along the side ribs. Elbows are drawing in. Shoulders are moving back towards the backs of the shoulder blades are moving down the spine. Belly is hugging in, and the tailbone is lengthening towards the heels. As you press through the feet, find your way back into downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, we're going to step the right foot in between the hands. We'll spin the left heel down. Walk the right toes to center. Firm the right outer buttocks in. Inhale, float up into Virabhadrasana 2. Virabhadrasana 2 pose. Take your right forearm. Place your right forearm on your right thigh crease. Inhale, float the left arm up towards the ceiling here. Good. So see that you're pressing down through the right toes. See that the right shin is parallel to the front of the room. See that the right thigh is releasing down to the mat. Press through the left pinky toe side of the foot. Spin the left outer arm down towards the floor. As the pinky reaches towards the floor, allow the right thumb to face the top of the ceiling. Good. Inhale, float that arm back up and come back into Warrior 2. Warrior 2 pose, straighten through that leg, take your hands to your hips, and you're going to turn both feet to face the opposite side of the room. Bend into the left knee this time. So left knee bends to 90 degrees. Press through the right outer foot. See that the left knee is bending so that the left thigh is parallel to the floor. Arms come out to the sides. The left hip is lifting off of the left thigh. And continue to lengthen through the right side of the room as you hinge at that left hip and glide the right arm up towards the ceiling. So from here, pin the left buttocks in. So the left buttocks that wants to jut out, can you draw it in towards the midline of the body? Now press the outer right foot down. Now spin the right arm to face the front of the room. And as you press through the pinky toe side of the right foot, can you extend the right pinky finger all the way over the head? Keep breathing here as you bend deeply into that left knee. Good. Inhale, floating that right arm up. Let the right arm float you up and out of the pose. Keep bending into that left knee. Straighten through the left leg. Hands come to the hips here and turn both feet to parallel. Good. Be here for a moment. Just regaining your posture in your body. And then we're going to spin our feet over towards the right. So you're going to start by taking your arms out, or rather taking your hands to your hips. See that your right foot is in line with the right knee, is in line with the right hip. See that your left heel is slightly turned in. Hinge at that right hip. Hinge at that right hip. Hinge at that right hip. Take your right hand down the leg. Take your left hand to the left hip. So here, once again, press through the pinky toe side of the left foot. Left thigh is moving back. Right hip is moving in. Feel the right toes pressing down as the right shin moves towards the right calf. Or the right calf moves to the right shin. Inhale, float the left arm up towards the ceiling. So as you take Utthita Trikonasana, a light bend in that right knee helps us to lift up even more through the left fingers. Wrap the right outer tricep in. Draw the right shoulder blade down the spine. Keep lifting through the left side of the chest. As you inhale here, raise that left arm up. Glide both hands to the hips and bend deeply into that right knee. As you bend into that right knee, extend the arms out to the sides. Warrior 2 pose. Good. So now in Warrior 2 pose, keep reaching out through opposite arms and breathing here. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. spin the right palm to the back of the room, place the right hand on the right shoulder. Take the left arm out to the left side of the room, turn the left palm down. Bend the left elbow, draw the left fingers up the spine as you grab hold of the right fingers here. So the right elbow is drawing up towards the ceiling, the left elbow is drawing down towards the mat. Keep bending into that right knee. The right hip is lifting off of the right thigh crease. That's it. Now straighten that right leg. Hinge at your right hip and glide your chest forward. Try to spin the right side of the chest up towards the ceiling. So you're leaning the head back, you're pressing through the right ball of the foot, and you're turning the chest up towards the ceiling. One more time, inhale, lengthen through the chest, and re-bend into that right knee. As you bend into the right knee, lift the right toes up off the mat. Keep drawing the left elbow down. Keep lifting the right side of the chest up. Good. And then once again, hands come to the hips, straighten through the right leg. Turn both feet to face one another parallel, and then exhale, turn to the other side. Okay. So once again here, we start in Warrior Two. It's just like a way that we can kind of find our way into the pose. Press to the outer right side of the foot, bend into that left knee. Feel both side ribs lengthening to the armpits. Feel both trapezius muscles lengthening to the fingers. Straighten through the left leg. Hinge at that left hip. And then place your left palm down towards the left shin. Glide the right arm up towards the ceiling. Wrap the left outer tricep in. As you press through the left ball of the foot, hug the left buttocks in towards the midline of the body. As you press through the right outer foot, begin to lengthen through those right fingers here. Good. And as you inhale here, begin to breathe as you lift that right arm up. Bend deeply into that left knee. Bend deeply into that left knee. Bend deeply into that left knee. Extend both arms up towards the ceiling. So once again, you're going to spin the left palm to the back of the room. Left palm grabs onto the left shoulder. Right thumb spins down to the floor. Right arm moves up the spine. Grab hold of the fingers here. Lengthen the left elbow up towards the ceiling. Lengthen the right elbow down towards the floor. Keep wrapping the outer elbows in as you breathe here. Buttocks lengthens down. Sternum lengthens up as you breathe. And then from here, straighten through that left leg. So now we turn the chest, begin to hinge at that hip. So press down through the left ball of the foot. Still a light bend in that left knee and draw the left buttocks in. Good. Inhale, draw the left elbow back up. Bend deeply into that left knee. Bend deeply into that left knee. Bend deeply into that left knee. Good. And then from here, take the arms out to the sides. As the arms come out to the sides, bend even more into that knee. Straighten through that left leg. Hands come to the hips. And turn both feet into parallel. With the feet turned in, hands come down the body. And release the head on down. So we're going to take our hands to the mat to start. And then we're going to inhale, lift the chest. We're going to come into Prasarita, Padottanasana C. So from here, you'll take your hands to your hips. You'll clasp hold of the fingers. And you'll add a light bend to those knees. See that the weight travels from the inner foot to the outer foot. See that the inner knees are lifting. See that the calves are moving towards the shins. As you feel ready, float the arms up and above the head. Continue to wrap the outer arms towards the inner arms. Feel the trapezius muscles moving away from the ears as you bring the sternum forward. So the sternum keeps coming forward as you hinge at those hips. There's still a light bend in those knees as you breathe here. And then you're going to take the hands to the low back. Inhale, pull up the chest. Find your way to standing. Good. Move the fingers one finger over. So again, we see that the feet are pressing out and away from one another. So press through the feet and lengthen through the chest. Keep pressing through the outer feet here. Keep drawing the elbows towards one another, lifting the chest on up. As you exhale, hinge at those hips and glide the arms up and above the head. Continue to breathe here as you wrap the outer armpits in. Continue to lengthen those fingers all the way up towards the ceiling. Keep shifting the weight forward. See that the heels are moving over the toes. See that the thighs are moving towards the back of the room. Keep wrapping the outer thighs in and keep breathing here. The head releases down to the mat. Good. Inhale, peel up the chest, heart, and sternum here as you lift up and bring your hands back to the hips. We're going to take our feet towards one another here and come back to standing. Take your arms out to the sides and breathe. So as you feel ready here, just take Samastiti. So Samastiti, spread across the toes. Feel the four corners of the feet pressing down. Calves are moving to shins. Thighs are moving to hamstrings. Buttocks is lengthening down towards the heels. Feel the belly engaged here. Soften through those ribs and lengthen through the fingers. As you feel ready, take the arms forward in front of you, lift the arms up towards the ceiling, and bend the knees to 90 degrees. This is called Utkatasana, or chair pose. Keep sinking down. So as you bend those knees, the shins or calves are moving towards the shins. The thighs are moving towards the hamstrings. You're sitting well. Press through the feet here to straighten the legs, and as you exhale, take the arms back down and out to the sides. Again, inhale, float the arms up. As you exhale, bend through those knees. So take the calves towards the shins, take the thighs towards the hamstrings, and continue to breathe here. As you begin to press through those legs, straighten the legs, and take the arms all the way down and out to the sides. One more time. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bending those knees, Utkatasana chair pose. As you exhale, fold forward halfway here. Inhale, lengthening up halfway. Be here for a moment, so bend those knees once again. See that the calves move towards the shins. See that the thighs move towards the hamstrings. Keep lengthening through the chest. And as you inhale here, take the arms out to the sides. So there is a light bend in the knees here. Good. Bend the knees again. Inhale, float the arms up above the head, Utkatasana chair pose, and then straighten through those legs. We're going to do that again. So bend through the knees. Release the arms down to the floor. Take the hands to the shins. As you take the hands to the shins, bend the knees slightly. Begin to lengthen the chest on forward. Again, lengthen those arms out to the sides. If you want more, take the arms forward in front of you and look down towards the mat. So you're using your core muscles here. Good. Extend the arms back to the sides. Inhale, float the arms forward in front of you as you bend the knees, Utkatasana. And then straighten through those legs as you take the arms to the sides. We're going to do it one more time. So as you feel ready, inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Fold forward, fold forward, fold forward. If you want, leave the arms in front of you the entire time. Inhale, float the arms out to the sides. Good. Exhale, bring the arms in front of you. So the entire time you're using your core strength here. Sink into those knees, lift the chest up, float the side ribs up, and then straighten through those legs and take the hands to the sides. Hands come to the hips here. Step the feet wide apart. Turn both feet over to the right. Good. And bend into that right knee. So as you press through the left heel, bend deeply into that right knee and float the right toes up off the mat. So now we're in warrior one legs, but our hands are still at the hips. Walk the hands down the buttocks flesh. See that the buttocks flesh is lengthening to the backs of the heels. Left thigh is in Tadasana, right knee is bent, similar to Virabhadrasana 2. Right outer hip is pinning in, right knee is parallel to the floor. Well, the shin is parallel to the floor, or rather the shin's perpendicular, but the thigh is parallel. Good. Straighten through that leg. We're going to bring our hands back to center and turn to the other side. So the hands remain on the buttocks for right now. From here, bend into that left knee. See that that right outer hip is turning in. Keep bending. Good. So the hands are on the buttocks. Keep lifting through the chest. Keep drawing that belly in, engaging the core muscles here. As you wrap the outer right thigh in, firm in the left outer hip. Let the left thigh become parallel to the mat. Straighten through that leg, turn the feet to parallel, and step the feet back together. Tadasana pose. So again, we take Tadasana pose to reorient ourselves back to our mat. Hands come to the hips again. Take the feet wide apart. Turn both feet over to face the right side of the room again. Bend deeply into that right knee. Inhale, float the arms up this time so we go a little bit deeper. As you press down through the left outer foot, keep lengthening through the left arm. Very similar to Prasarita. We're extending through the entire left side of the body. On the right side, it's a little bit different though. On the right side, your right heel is pressing down, your right thigh is pressing down, and the right chest or right arm is lifting up. That's it. So straighten through that leg, turn the feet to parallel. Keep the arms lifted this time, and then to the other side. So we see that our feet or our hips begin to revolve from right to left, and then you bend deeply into that left knee. So as you bend deeply into the left knee, press through the outer right foot. Feel the right outer arm lifting up. Bend a little bit more deep into that left knee. Hug the left outer hip in. Good. And breathe here. Maybe look up towards the fingers. Maybe the fingers touch. Straighten through that leg. Turn the feet in. And hands come to the hips. Let's step those feet towards one another. Take the arms out to the sides and breathe here. Good. Tadasana pose. Tadasana mountain pose. All right, so from here, let's take the hands to the hips again. One more time, let's step those feet wide apart. Let's turn the feet over to the right side of the room. Spin over to the right side and bend deeply into that right knee. Once again, lift those arms up towards the ceiling. Float the arms up. This time, as you feel ready, take the arms back behind you. Interlace the fingers and draw the fingers down the back of the left leg. Good. So you'll notice that the chest bows forward naturally. Hug the belly in. Soften through the frontal ribs. And then as you press through that left heel, take the arms up towards the ceiling. Hug the outer right hip in. So the left shoulder revolves down. The outer arms begin to wrap in, and you begin to lengthen the chest on forward here. That's it. Keep pressing that left heel down. Keep drawing the left shoulder towards the right foot. As you inhale here, float both the sides of the chest up. So come back into Warrior Two. Inhale. Float those arms up towards standing. Straighten through that right leg. Turn the feet in. And turn the feet over to the other side. So we take Humble Warrior to the other side. Hands come behind the back. It's called Baddha Virabhadrasana. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Bend deeply into that left knee. You're going to drive the fingers down the back of the right leg this time as you lift the chest. As you exhale, take the arms up towards the ceiling. Wrap the outer right shoulder down. Press to the right outer heel. Firm the left buttocks in. Keep breathing here as you lengthen through the chest, the heart, the sternum. Pin the left outer hip in. Inhale, floating the arms back. Float the arms up towards the ceiling. Here, Warrior One, straighten through that leg. And find your way back to center. We're going to fold forward here. So take the hands down to the mat. Glide the hands all the way down. Release the head all the way down towards the mat. As you release the head all the way down towards the mat, walk the hands back. And find your way into Prasarita Padottanasana A. So you can release the head down to the mat if you want to. What I'd recommend doing is seeing that the calves move towards the shins, seeing that the thigh bones lift up towards the pelvis, seeing that the pubis zips up all the way to the crown of the head, and release that head on down. You'll walk the hands on forward here. Inhale, peel up the chest, and then heel toe the feet in as you begin to lift on up. For here, turn the feet out just so that they're turned away from one another and bend those knees here. Bend those knees, bend those knees, bend those knees. So see that the left knee is bending towards the left foot. See that the right knee is bending towards the right foot. Just get low here. Good. So now take the hands out in front of you and lift the chest. So draw the outer hips in. Feel the buttocks lengthening out towards the backs of the knees. Feel the thighs parallel to the mat. Keep breathing here. Take the arms out to the sides. Float the arms up towards the ceiling. Straighten through those legs. Turn the right foot in, turn the left foot in, and take the hands to the hips again. Good. We're going to do that one more time. So turn the heel out, right heel out, left heel out. Now bend through the knees. So bend through both knees. All right, bend through both knees and take the arms forward of the chest. Now from here, arms come out to the sides and float the arms up over the head. Keep sinking down here, keep sinking down, keep sinking down. And then as you feel ready, straighten through those legs. Hands come to the hips and heel toe the feet back together as you come back to Tadasana mountain pose. Interlace the fingers here. Press the palms forward in front of you. Take the arms up towards the ceiling here. All right, and then as you exhale, we're going to find our way onto our mat. We're going to start in downward facing dog pose. Good. We're going to start in downward facing dog pose. Spread across the fingers. Lift through the inner forearms. Wrap the outer armpits in. And then lengthen through those legs. So the inner legs lengthen back. The outer thighs lengthen back. The outer heels lengthen back. Good. Lower the knees down to the mat. Sweep the legs forward. Release the head on down. Find your way onto your back. So now that we're on our back, take your hands, place them behind the back of your head, and lift the chest on up. And then you're going to begin to do leg extensions here. Right leg extends and draw it back. And left leg extends and draw it back. Keep the chest lifted. Right leg extends and draw it back. Left leg extends and draw it back. Right leg and back. And left leg and back. And right leg and back. And left leg and back. Good. Then lift both arms and continue to alternate. Keep lifting the chest. And keep alternating here. Good. All right. And then from here, hug these knees into the chest. Just rock forwards and backwards here until eventually you come into a seat. As you come into a seat here, you're going to take your hands behind both knees, and you're going to inhale, begin to float the right leg up. So you could just start here. Just the right leg floats up. Good. And as you exhale, you're going to release the right foot down. You're going to float the left leg up. Good. Release the left foot down. Float the right leg up. And release the right foot down, float the left leg up. So keep the chest lifted. Release the left foot down, float the right leg up. All right, and release and float the left leg up. And release. Now float both feet up. Good, float both feet up. And then lower the right foot down and lift the right foot up. And lower the left foot down and lift the left foot up. Lower the right foot down, lift the right foot up. Lower the left foot down, lift the right foot up. Good, or left foot up. And then as you feel ready, you're going to take Urdhva variation. So just extend those legs forward, keep the chest lifted, keep the heart lifted, and breathe here. Shoulders off the mat, belly engaged. And then bring those knees back in and lift those legs up. Again, Urdhva. So Urdhva variation, belly hugs in, chest lifts up, toes are flexed, and then draw it back in again. And then Urdhva variation again. Keep breathing here. Good, and then back. Cross the legs. Lift the chest. Exhale and release. Breathe into the back of the body. All right. And then from here, one more time, you're going to come back into downward facing dog pose. So downward facing dog pose once again. Feet are in line with the hips. Hands are forward of the shoulders, spread across the fingers. And continue to let those hips draw on back. So as you spread across the fingers here, continue to lift the inner forearms up. Continue to wrap the outer arms in. Hug the belly in and breathe here. So as you lengthen on back, keep lengthening back through those heels. Keep breathing here. Good. And one more time, you're going to come back onto your back. Again, abdominals. Maybe just today, abdominals. All right. From here, hands behind the back of the head. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lift the legs up. Inhale, lift the chest up. Hold. And then lower the legs down. Lower the head down. Inhale, lift the chest up. Inhale, float the knees up. Inhale, lift the chest up. And then release the feet and release the head. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, float the knees up. Inhale, lift the chest up. And lower it all down. Inhale, float the chest up. Inhale, float the knees up. Inhale, float the chest up. And lower it on down again. Inhale, float chest up. Inhale, float legs up. Inhale, float chest up. And lower on down. Inhale, float chest up. Inhale, float legs up. Inhale, float chest up. And lower on down. Good. And then from here, you'll lift the chest up, and you're just going to begin to take crunches here. So crunches are very simple. You're just lifting the shoulders and lowering them down. The head stays rather neutral here. You're not lifting through the neck. You're really lifting through the top of the chest, right where the solar plexus are. That's kind of where you're lifting from. So just keep going here. Just keep going. It's not necessarily the most pleasurable experience. Crunches. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Nice. Now you're getting there. All right, and then from here, just release on down for a moment. Okay. Then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to bring the knees to a bent position. You're going to bring the head up, and then you're going to float the legs up. Now you're going to lower the right leg down. You're going to bring both elbows over to the left side. Draw the elbows back to center. Float the right leg up. Lower the left leg down. Draw both elbows over to the right. Come back to center, and float it on up. Right leg down. Elbows draw to left. Right leg up. Back to center. Right, left leg down, elbows over to right, elbows back to center, and back. 5 more. So we go to the left side, and we lift, and we go to the right side, and we lift. 4. We go to the left side, and we lift. We go to the right side, and we lift. For 3. We go to the right side, and we lift. We go to the left side, and we lift. For 2. Go to the right side, and go to the left side. 1. Go to the right, and go to the left. All right, hug those knees into the chest. Oof. It's always my favorite, those abdominal work, abdominal stretches. Okay, so from here, let's start by taking our hands, or rather taking our knees, bringing them back to center, and then floating your knees over to the left side. See, if you want a little bit more, just keep the legs floated. Keep the legs floating, so the legs are just floating off the ground. You're breathing into the back, you're breathing into the spine. Breathing in here. And then you'll draw those knees back to center, and you'll take them to the other side. All right, and then come back to center. And now take these hands, bring them, hold them onto the outer edge of the mat, roll the shoulders under, walk the feet in, lift the pelvis up. So the calves move towards the shins, the thighs move towards the hamstrings, the shoulders roll under the spine, and breathe here. Continue to hug the belly in. Continue to interlace the fingers under the back as you breathe here. And release that pelvis on down. Now, take your block, place your block underneath your back, and you're going to lift the legs up towards the ceiling. So this is called Viparita Karani, and we're going to be here for a little bit, so make sure you're comfortable. If this is uncomfortable for you, please take your legs up the wall. Just take your legs to the wall, bring your right hip to the wall, sweep your legs up the wall, and then release your head on down. So that's the alternative to this pose. And as you breathe here, what we're doing is we're allowing for the body to once again come back to a sense of balance. So when we take Viparita Karani, this is actually a pose very similar to a pose called Salamba Sarvangasana, which is shoulder stand. So even though we're not necessarily in shoulder stand per se, we're getting a lot of the benefits of shoulder stand. Pelvis is slightly elevated, the legs are extending up. You can feel pressing through the tops of the feet. Toes are spread wide apart, very similar to Tadasana. So the legs are almost identical to Tadasana here. Calves are moving towards shins, thighs are moving to hamstrings, just like we've been doing all day. The belly is retracting down towards the spine. You're lengthening your tailbone all the way towards the heels. And breathing here. Spread those toes. Continue to lengthen through those heels. And breathe. Keep spreading across those toes. And continue to breathe here.
And then you'll bring the knees back into center. You'll release the feet on down towards the mat. Now take your block and bring it to a higher setting, so now it's in the middle setting of the mat. You're going to draw the right knee into the chest and float the right leg up towards the ceiling. So this is actually like a variation pose. It's half Viparita Karani, half Setu-Bandha Sarvangasana. So it's like bridge pose meets Viparita Karani. So that's really what it is. It's like a bridge meets the leg extension. And then as you feel ready, you'll bend that knee, you'll release that foot on down. You'll take the other side of the pose. So the left knee draws into the chest. The left leg extends all the way up towards the ceiling. And breathing here. And then releasing that foot on down. Good. From here, you'll take the hands under the back, you'll interlace the fingers, you'll pull the fingers apart, press down through the tops of the shoulders, press down through the forearms, press down through the fingers. Close the eyes and breathe. All right, let's release that pelvis on down. Let's take the arms out to the sides. And then as you draw the knees into the chest, you draw the knees over to the left and breathe here. Knees are on the left side as you breathe. Again, just feeling into the body, feeling into the breath here. And then the knees come back to center and the knees drift over to the right. Back to center, good. Okay, so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our blocks again. We're going to bring your blocks, actually, yes, you're going to bring the blocks in between the legs here and you're going to squeeze the feet together. You're going to lift that pelvis up again. You're going to press the belly in or hug the belly in here as you interlace the fingers underneath the back. Good. And then from here, you're going to walk the feet forward and see if you can keep hugging those legs together. So you're wrapping the outer thighs in, the tailbone's lengthening here, and you're lengthening through the chest. The belly's lifted, the belly is hugging in, chest is lifted, outer thighs revolving in. You're breathing in here into the legs. Nice work. And then you'll drive the fingers back, or you drive the legs back rather, and then you'll release the pelvis down. Now keep the block here. I'm going to do a pose called Urdhva Dhanurasana. So you can take your hands behind the shoulders and hug the elbows in. Now, Urdhva Dhanurasana is created through the strength in the arms. So if you feel like you press up and the strength is not there, then please just skip it for today. You could come back to the pose we just did or back to bridge pose. Otherwise, as you press through the feet, begin to take your calves towards the shins, begin to take the thighs towards the hamstrings, and the belly hugs in. So right now, our body below the trunk, or rather below the chest, is identical to bridge pose. It's almost identical to bridge pose. But as you press through the fingers and lift up onto the crown of the head, now your head is on the ground. Now press through the fingers, forearms forward, triceps down to the mat, and lift the chest up. Keep hugging those thighs in as you breathe here. This is called Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose. And as you exhale, the head lifts up, you bend the elbows, you release the shoulders down first, and then the head releases down. Take the arms out to the sides. We'll do it one more time. So this time no block is needed. You just will imagine you have a block in between your legs. See that the feet are hips width distance apart, thighs are parallel with the mat, hands come back behind the head, elbows draw in, press down through the feet, hug the belly in, lift up through the arms onto the top crown of the head, press down through the fingers, lifts up the chest, and release the head on down. As you breathe here, spread across those fingers. Engage your core muscles and breathe. And as you exhale, lift the head, softly lower on down, release, release, release. Good. Okay, from here, let's take these feet together. Let's take those knees apart. Supta Padottanasana. Let's take it for a moment. Feet are together, knees are apart. And then as you feel ready, just begin to extend your legs forward. Forward, forward, forward. So we're going to come into Shavasana. Now, if you need any other poses, please feel free to. Today, the ending of the class, I'm not quite sure why, but just kept it pretty minimal. So if you need to do anything else, please feel free to do so. Buttocks is lengthening towards the heels. Shoulders are lengthening towards the backs of the fingers. Spread across the chest, releasing from the shoulders all the way down towards the wrist. So let the breath come back into the body. Move the head from right to left. And you're going to bring the knees to a bent position. Roll the body over onto a side.
Press your way on up and find your way into a seated position. As you come into a seated position, close the eyes and be here for a moment. So very rarely do we actually take any time to sit. But just for right now, just be here. Let the breath be slow. Let the body relax. And continue to breathe here. Continue to breathe and release. As you feel ready, take the hands to the center chest. Take a deep inhale in. If you'd like to join me in an Om. Releasing the chin towards the chest. Hands come to the tops of the thighs, palms face up. Gently lift the head and softly open the eyes. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. My name is Jason Gorenstein. This is our Hatha Yoga Level 1-2 class. If you guys have any special requests, please let me know. I hope that you guys enjoyed the class today. Class really guided towards Humble Warrior and then kind of went more inward after that. So hopefully you have a beautiful rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all soon, yogis. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day.